I don't know if you ever heard of I Love Bees, which was like the Halo 2 promotional thing. It was like people all over the internet. This was like 10 years ago or something. Were like trying to figure out these like cryptic things that were posted all over forums. So they're kind of like that, except not for marketing. The ones Martin's checking out are like definite mysteries.
Okay.
Like cryptic, mysterious sources, not for commercial gain, but just for
who
mystery's
knows.
sake. Yeah, who knows? That's the mystery. One
They're
of them in
recruiting smart
particular,
people.
like the one that's really driving me up the wall is there's this video game Doom. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mhm.
It's from like I don't know what year it's from. I know nothing about it. I don't even really like video games that much. But
Is it from like the 90s or something?
Mhm. Yeah, I think so.
something.
In the 80s, maybe?
Maybe 80s. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Like maybe late 80s, early 90s. Probably 90s. But there's a whole community around it now, and they make mods and all kinds of textures for the same game, but they replace the graphics, with like Simpsons characters or like whatever fun stuff. But then this one person posted on the forum, like, I just had a close childhood friend die, and like in their belongings, their parents gave me a bunch of their stuff, and there's a floppy disk of a map of their house. And so I decided to make it a Doom mod. So like check it out. And inside of the package is like a journal with like a dream journal of like these crazy trippy dreams and a bunch of stuff. And you play through this game, and it's using like the game mechanics, simple game mechanics, but it tells this much greater story, presenting a mystery of like who is the creator of this and who is the person who died and like what is their relationship. And so it led me to this book. And this book, it's called House of Leaves. Have you heard of it?
No. Well, who's the author?
Mark Z. Danielewski. I got the blur on. Wait a minute. Let me turn the blur off so that you can see. But it's really fucked up. Oh, nice. The backgrounds are back. Sweet. Sorry. Cool. Okay, no, it still fucks up.
Yeah, it won't work with that though.
I can
come right back to it. Okay. The print is all fucked up. Like you can kind of see like some entirely fictional though. It's about it's like a literary critique of like an adaptation of like basically there's a guy, Zampano, writes a story about a family whose house just like all of a sudden is a 1/4 inch bigger on the outside than it is on the inside, and then all of a sudden their reality warps. They're in this weird non-Euclidean space, and then
it sounds like Borges.
I can see that.
A little bit. Well, I mean, it sounds like he was influenced by him. I feel like there was like even Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. Did you read that? Jonathan Safran Foer. It came out, I don't know, maybe in the early 2000s. So there was like a whole kind of push for that. This. It sounds like this is a little bit of a horror story too, but there was a whole push for like this kind of format experimental fiction. But Borges was kind of the father of that, like years and years ago. Oh my God, this man has a beautiful cat.
Apparently I can get that. I can get it in PDF, and also it was a film in 2011.
I did that.
Yeah,
very cool.
So Martin's gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. But I get it. So, wow. He has a 27-volume series called The Familiar. Maybe I shouldn't have told you that. Now you could be down like a series of gopher holes.
I mean, it makes me like anxious that it will have some effect on me somehow. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Like the number 23. It's just gonna like
Mhm.
consume my life until
Mhm.
I know.
Well, this is a grounding thing then that we're coming together and doing something in maybe reality.
See what happens. I've never felt more alone.
Pseudo reality.
Okay,
You
let's
never
play
felt more alone. That's good. That speaks to our virtual ability to keep you company.
Yeah, we're not doing the best job, huh? All right,
No,
you
it's
ready to
fine.
play
It's
some
me.
music?
Yeah. Um
Music.
yeah. I got another dark one for you. Go figure.
Nice.
Is it new?
It may Yeah, I mean, a similar thing. I kind of like cobbled it together from like previous, I have inspiration. I go into my notes, I write like 2 sentences, or like I'll write like, one stanza and then go on with my business. And so I kind of just cobbled together some of these short things. Um, yeah, but it's new. I just wrote the music like an hour ago. Um, and so it's super not done, super works in progress, a lot of different options. Nothing is for certain. Nothing lasts forever, but until they close the curtain.
Or until you finish the book?
Yeah, until right, I'll figure it out. But
Is there anything specific that you want us to pay attention to?
It's a good
I don't
one.
know. I think like I was saying, nothing's really set in stone, so yeah, I guess just anything is welcome. Right, I don't feel too strongly about any of the choices, or like not, infallibly. So yeah, I guess I'll go first then. Unless Marty, you want to go first?
Yeah, go for it. I feel like you're teed up, You're ready. You've been
Just give us
playing it.
a preamble.
Do it. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're ready.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. The title is maybe Voices, maybe Sorry, Thank You, and Good Night. I don't know. Maybe something else entirely, and you can tell me after. Okay. A better place is just outside, say voices ringing in your head. They're not just thoughts and prayers for the dead. Your heart sinks lower than your gut. You feel the heat, your muscles tense. You cannot hear what all those voices said. A feather drops and floods the streets. The chirping stops your inner peace. The early bird has crickets. Early bird has crickets in its beak. It's not easy being restless when every moment screams goodbye. Just say you're sorry, thank you, and good night. Just let him go. It's for the best. The silence really puts you to the test. It's greater than the time it takes to rest. The pain of pace, you're wide awake before I fall asleep. The pain of pace is all it takes to make me want to leave. I wandered till I saw the sun. I sailed no more torn than my mind. Breathing the winds of change and sands of time. My lungs are drier than my eyes. My heart is drenched, I don't know why. The voices of the sea can drown the sky. I know.
beautiful. So much good imagery in it.
Yeah, but it's interesting because it's kind of got like this like the chord progression has this ominous thing going on, this sort of like ominous like hesitance in the way that it progresses. It's interesting. Is that, I don't know if that's on purpose.
Yeah, like right. The parts that are kind of like the verses, it's kind of like vamp, but then when I get to my other section, right, I introduce some tension. There's some just like playing with the timing of the where the changes happen, and yeah, and there's a lot more of like in between chords, chromatic, kind of like passing chords.
Mm-hmm. It definitely has a blues feel in a way that I haven't heard that much of your music, but this is bluesier than I've heard you play before, which I like. And it kind of has the rambling feeling of like Bob Dylan and Phil Oakes and people who are using long lines, but that kind of really nice bluesy but slightly dissonant repetition.
Yeah, Phil Oakes, that's a good comparison. I like the sort of chestnut sweetness of the way that you sing some of the lines. It's kind of like that. Do you have the lyrics to drop?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, I'm dropping that.
The image of the crickets in the bird's beak was
Yes,
a nice like I would definitely use some of your examples if I were like I'm thinking it's because I taught today, but I'm thinking of pieces of writing that I teach and say like this turns a cliche on its head, or this is like you might think of the cliche, but this author did something more interesting than the cliche, and like this is an example of fresh language. So that one was for me.
Cool. Yeah, that's something I was thinking about from last week, is about like the use of cliches, quote unquote, and how as writers and editors you are like not into that, but I'm like really into that, I guess, of, cliche is a word. I would say idiom, American idiom, and that kind of, is colloquial. And
but I think that's different because I feel like what I
has, it's all about that, and in different ways.
Like I like the combination of what was it, breathing the winds of change and the sands of time. Breathe in the winds of change and the sands of time. Like that worked for me. That's the thing. Yeah, it's like when you can turn them on their head in some way, then I think that works.
I agree.
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean,
no, go ahead.
Yeah, I like cliches in that it's just a great way to establish like archetypes. You can establish very quickly a story and a emotional vibe, a context, and then you have all of the extra space to subvert that and to play with it. Yeah, because it just emotional advancement, and then those emotionally advanced things become the new cliches, and then people can build off of those.
Yeah, it feels like this is telling the story of a journey, but it sounds like it's telling the story of like a internal journey as much as anything. It feels like the wandering is internal, like all of the things that are happening like I can imagine exactly like what in your life this could be like being awake and seeing the sun come up and the early birds chirping, and I don't know if that's actually what it's meant to be, but it like evokes that for me. But like what I don't know, what is the pain of pace? What does that mean to you?
Like monotony, daily life.
In
a nutshell.
And the Stuart Little, well, I love Stuart Little.
Oh yeah.
Right now as it's sitting, I'm not sure how it connects with what comes before and what comes after.
I'm not really sure how that got in there. You didn't hear me sing it. It was just in
How
the
is that?
text that I was copying.
Okay, because I was thinking, wow, I really missed Stuart Little in the song.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember hearing that. It's like
Wow.
a little mystery here in the text.
I guess
Right.
I am tired. Who is most?
I see that sometimes in lyrics online actually for songs where it's like you definitely did not actually sing that line, but it's in there.
Mhm.
No, I just left it in just because that was my train of thought, I guess, at the time.
Mhm. I really like Just Say Sorry, Thank You, and Good Night for some
Mhm.
reason.